So I want to return to one of my favorite storytellers, the poet Robert Bly. Robert Bly can touch you deep in the soul with his readings of the mystic poets. He's a force of nature, and he will remind you, if you let him, of your need to wade in deep waters. One of my favorite stories Robert Bly tells is the one about the white bear. It begins with a young woman wandering around in the forest where she finds a white bear playing with a golden wreath. Of the forest, Carl Jung said this: "It is an aspect of the unconscious, the dark place where we go, or let ourselves go, on forbidden paths." So the young woman is in this forest, this sacred inner space, and she takes one look at the wreath the bear is playing with and decides she must have it. A golden wreath is a wonderful symbol of psychic integration, akin to the golden ring that features so prominently in Wagner's Ring Cycle, or the golden ball that another young girl loses in a pond where the frog prince lies. Now, up to this point, the young woman has been prancing about, skimming the surface of life, but now she has been touched. She has encountered the depths and will never be the same again. This happens to all of us when we wander into dark wood and retrieve a part of ourselves we had given up for dead. So she asks for the wreath and offers her crown and her jewels in return, but the bear is unimpressed. What would a bear do with those things, he asks. What the bear wants is the girl, and she's willing to give herself for that wreath, so she goes back to her castle and informs her father that she will be leaving with the bear when he comes calling for her. Now, what does the bear symbolize? There are a lot of Inuit legends about white bears. Its spirit is thought to be tremendously powerful. The themes the bear can evoke are that of surrender and of transformation. In this tale, we can be sure the bear is pointing to a deeper reality, a completely new attitude, one that wants to relate to the world in a more holistic, more mature way. The father, on the other hand, represents the ego, and it's not too interested in this encounter with the bear, with the higher self, as it threatens its dominion over things. So the king calls in for his troops and instructs them to shoot at the bear when he comes for his daughter. When the bear arrives, he merely swats his paw at the guns and the cannons and goes inside the castle asking for the girl. On 2 different occasions he does this and is duped by the king, who gives him his 2 eldest daughters instead. The bear takes each of the young women out into the forest and asks them 2 important questions. Have you ever sat more softly than now? And have you ever seen more clearly than now? Both young women respond yes, they have sat more softly and seen more clearly from their father's lap. And the bear says, "Oh hell, I've got the wrong one," and returns each to the castle. Finally, the father is forced to cough up the 3rd daughter, who says that she has never sat more softly nor seen so clearly than when she sits on the bear king's back, and the white bear breathes a sigh of relief, knowing that he now has the right one. So the young woman heads out with her bear and lives happily in the castle with him. In the darkness, the bear becomes a vibrant young man with whom she spends many a happy night. The trick, though, is she's not allowed to see him. Now, this is a common theme in myth. The same story plays out in the tale of Psyche and Eros. Being the dark is part and parcel of the romantic experience. The young woman is all right with this until she goes to visit her parents, and the mother instructs her to light a candle and take a look at the bear. The father, the ego once again, tells her to leave things as they are, but the feminine, as represented by the mother, will not leave things alone. The feminine is never content with empty relationships, with living on the surface of things. Curiosity is one of her gifts. It has been said that the opposite of depression is curiosity, and it is the curious who discover the gold hidden in the earth. So the girl returns to the Bear King's castle, lights a candle, and looks into the face of the gorgeous man she has been sleeping with. When a light is lit in a story, you know the consciousness is creeping into things, and consciousness reveals what is really at work in a situation, in a relationship, in any life choice. The Bear King berates her. He had asked her not to do this, And had she kept her promise for one more night, he tells her, he would have turned into the handsome young man forever, but now he runs away into the night. Now, why does the Bear King not want her to light the candle? What does this mean in the archetypal sense? Perhaps the Bear King knows she is not ready for this journey. After all, she sat on his back and broke from her father's way of seeing things, but she has not yet suffered the 1,000 cuts that come from traveling in these depths and may not be ready for what is coming next. And so he leaves, and she chases after him, traveling from house to house, asking if they had seen her bear. What does she do in each of the houses she visits? She asks questions, she engages the children, she shows concern for the misery of those around her, and she feeds them. She gives of herself in the relational way that is central to the feminine spirit and is rewarded in the end for it. This, according to Robert Bly, is symbolic of the journey we must all make from the midlife point on. We can no longer tolerate the deadening career, the hollow relationship, the inability to connect with the depths. We must step into relationship with what feeds our hearts and our souls. Now, it turns out that a troll hag has the bear imprisoned and intends to marry him. That troll hag is that part of ourselves that keeps us from moving forward, from adopting a new stance. The young woman goes to the castle and tricks the troll into surrendering the bear. By taking action, she is activating the masculine principle, that doing energy that is required to get the job done. In the end, the bear and the young woman are married and integration takes place. That's all that a marriage means in the archetypal world. The masculine and feminine energies have come together and become whole. When we remember that the word whole is related to the word healing, this will make sense. Now, if you ever find yourself near a park or a forest, take a moment to read one of these wonderful tales out loud to a child, to a friend, to yourself. It may just resonate with that part inside where the White Bear King lives and breathes and is waiting for you to tread the deep waters of the self.